Maybe you're about to take a relationship to the next level and combine two households into one. Maybe you're retiring and thinking about moving into a smaller place. At some point in most of our lives, we end up having to downsize at some point. But just how do you deal with years and years worth of stuff? Well, this is something Colette Robichaud of Organize Anything helps with often, and she joins us this morning with advice. Good morning.
Hi, it's great to be here.
Now, I was thinking about this recently because I know people who have retired and have downsized that way. So how often do you deal with downsizing issues?
Regularly, almost daily, I have people calling me, asking me where to get started, or even people that I'm working with that are younger often say, you know, eventually we'll be in another home or something like that. I stage homes, so I'm running into this on a very regular basis.
And so what are the different reasons people downsize? I guess I mentioned the retirement.
Yeah, there's so many today, and we often think of it as something when you're aging a bit. There are health reasons that people downsize. They want to be close to hospitals. There's a current move towards simplicity of people living in smaller things. There's the 100-thing challenge, people trying to live with less. Transitions like divorce and loss of a loved ones. There's many, many reasons. People wanting to free up cash, not only to maybe eliminate debt, but think about freeing up cash to do fun things that you have on your bucket list as well. So a lot of money is tied up in our house. So, you know, ways to look at that, I say, you know, talk to professionals like your financial planner to start, people like me as a professional organizer, and avoid some of those pitfalls along the way. Don't wait and think this is an exercise in moving. This is an exercise in lifestyle and planning ahead.
So say you've decided to downsize, then how do you start?
Well, I say it's your research. So, you know, there's lots of things online to do. Talk to the professionals, as I said. Friends and family who have already done it. And it's about conversations. A lot of times it is conversations with your family as well and thinking about how to do it. And your big friend is the list. Many lists. Keep these in one place. So lists of, you know, things I would absolutely love and really, really want to take with me. And that may be possible, it may not. I've downsized people from, you know, over 4,000 square feet to 700 square feet assisted living. So you might have a very big wish list, but chances are you can't take everything. So start with those lists of what you would like, things that you know are going to specific people, friends and family, things that possibly you would like to sell, donate, that sort of thing.
Now, how do you let go?
Well, letting go is very difficult, but we want to try to be very practical and not have your new space so crammed that it's actually a health hazard or it really doesn't feel well. So that's where working with someone along the way like me is a lot easier than sometimes working with another family member. With another family member, you're storytelling, you're actually building up the connection with those things instead of me trying to sort of isolate it a little bit or coming up with creative ways to keep things. If you have, you know, 100 pictures in the house of, you know, your family in picture frames, that's not going to go in a smaller place. I can come up with ways to store them electronically in an electric frame or suggest things that you might normally not have thought of.
There's things you can kind of, where you can consolidate.
Absolutely,
things.
absolutely.
You can pare it down.
Yeah. And that's what we're looking at. How do we save things and, you know, in smaller spaces, or use other things that do double and triple purpose, where in our bigger home, you know, if we just look at our kitchen, you'd have, you know, a lemon zester and a squeezer and a garlic press, or in your new home you might have a knife. You know what I mean? So, you know, and look at the appliances, bread maker, rice cooker, this and that. And if you're moving in a very small condo, you might not have the extra space, and really look at how often you use them. So I suggest things like those kitchen utensils, throw a whole bunch of them in a box, throw them a little further away, and see how many times you really use them over the next little while. I did this myself years ago, and gee, you know, I discovered I wasn't zesting a lot. You know, and you know, a lot of times we collect a lot of things that we because we can. We've been gifted them. We have the space to afford them, and when we don't need them, we put them in the basement, thinking, "What if I'll use it again?" So there's a lot of that sort of stuff to let go of, and really think about what you'll be using on a daily basis. You know, I have people moving in these small assisted living places want to bring a couple sets of china when all their meals are provided. So, you know, that sometimes is an issue of more emotional attachment than it is really practicality. That doesn't mean you can't have your mementos. We want to just have great ways to do it that they're not a hazard in, you know, in your space.
Way. When you're trying to downsize. And of course, getting a professional, always a big help. Thank you for coming in this morning with a few tips.
It was my pleasure.